Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm glad that you have found us here and are joining our tribe on YouTube as we all heal post-narcissistic abuse. Uh, Today I want to talk about, a burning question we all have and we all think about, and that's why did the narcissist choose us? Besides just, the fact that a narcissist always needs fuel. But why did they choose us? And I think it's just like any other predator out there, and how any predator chooses their victims. First, you have to be kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time, just some bad luck of just crossing paths with a narcissist. The same way, say you have a mugger that is looking to rob somebody. A lot has to do with it just kind of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And also, what about us that gives, an allure to a narcissist, right? Because they're always hunting. They're always looking for fuel, whether, they're looking for a main supply of fuel or they're looking for a secondary supply. Because it doesn't matter if it's a covert or an overt narcissist, or, the grandiose, greater or lesser, mid-range, it doesn't matter. They all need fuel. They cannot generate it themselves. They need to get it from an outside source. And so they're looking for someone who can generate fuel, not just have a lot of it to give, but can actually generate it. And they're always looking for that, and it's not just empaths that can generate fuel. We just have large reserves, and if the narcissist sees that in someone, they're going to go after it and try to tap it and love bomb that and really lay some groundwork and set up shop and just suck that oil well dry, right? If they ever find a source of fuel like that. So, but it did require quite a bit of bad luck. I mean, on our part. or sometimes I think of it like, if you're going to get mugged by, say, a criminal, they're not going to try to mug someone that doesn't look like they have anything in their pockets, right? But if they see someone that's got like a really nice backpack, and they think, and they look, it's like, oh, I wonder if there's like a laptop in there or something, or I wonder if that's where they keep a wallet and everything. So they're gonna mug the person with the really nice backpack, right? And so just like any other predator, they're looking for supplies. And I honestly look at a narcissist as a predator, to steal fuel and to drain someone of everything that they have and just take and take and take and not feel bad about it, So I look at my narcissist, and it seems so obvious because we want to know. First of all, we want to know why they chose us, because we don't want it to happen again. And we're trying to be on guard now for if someone's a narcissist, but they can be really hard to detect, especially when you first meet them. And especially in my case, that they were covert narcissists. They weren't very grandiose, but at their core, he was still someone that needed fuel because he couldn't generate it himself. He didn't have empathy. He couldn't create emotion. He didn't feel anything, and he didn't know how to function. They simply cannot function without an outside fuel source. So when you know that about them at their core, I mean, and now that we're educated almost, and a lot of you are just educating yourselves now, we need to look for the warning signs. And there were a lot of warning signs actually at the beginning of my relationship, and they seem obvious now, but then they didn't. So when I first met my narc, he was I thought he was married. Like, his website said he was married, but then I found out that he had, like, just that month, like, separated, had gotten a divorce, like, the month that I met him. And the thing is, within a few weeks, like, not even a month later from that, he started dating someone from our, like, the school that he was running, the fitness school that he was running. And I didn't really think anything of it. I found out, I knew her, in the classes and stuff. She was a doctor that he had started dating, and he only dated her for like 6 months. And then, like, within a month after he broke up with her, he started dating me. And, and I, at the time, just thought of it as, okay, he had this, 5-year marriage with this girl that helped him run that school, actually. And then he rebounded with this, hot doctor. But then he found me, and I'm his soulmate, right? and the love bombing began. But looking back on it, like, no one should start dating someone after a 5-year marriage within, a few weeks, within, like, a couple weeks. That's not right. Like, no one can really do that. And then the fact that he started dating me so soon after that breakup, it seems only a narcissist can really jump that quickly from serious relationship to serious relationship. So it's obvious now, but darn it sure wasn't then. And I had no idea what even a covert narcissist was then. So, but you know what? I'm going to be much more prepared now for signs like that, and how alluring I must have looked to a narcissist at the time. But like, a lot of times it's just bad luck, because I look at the girl that my narc is with now, like the new supply, and I'm like, why? And of course we all do this, right? Especially after we first get discarded, we're like, well, why her? She's not prettier, she's not smarter, she's not better than me. Like, sometimes we say that to ourselves, and we're looking and we're trying to figure it out. And the thing is, it's the same reason why they chose you, really. They had supply, and they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, probably. They're not better than you. They're just someone that has reserves, and they actually looked at someone, and they it's almost like they do it very calculating. Like, okay, so if they see this person, it's like, if I put the work in up front and really love bomb them and put this foundation, I can get fuel for years, right? Is what they're doing. And it's like they're really, it's almost like grooming their victim is what love bombing is. So they can really get supply anywhere. Like, it's just like tapping for oil. Like, I know there's oil here. Do I want to set up a rig here? Because they absolutely need fuel to survive. They cannot generate it themselves, and they simply can't run without it. So they're just they're always grooming everybody they meet to see how much fuel they have, and it doesn't have to be the main supply. It can be the secondary supply, like whether it be, co-workers or friends or, anyone that comes into their life, they try to use as a secondary supply. And I saw it with my narc too. Like, when he was teaching his classes at the fitness school that he ran, he'd be in front of the class, and sometimes, he did seminars, and there were like a couple hundred people, sometimes like big crowds. And I saw him up on stage, and I could see him just sucking up the fuel. But then after he got off stage, he acted like it was so exhausting, and that he didn't like doing it and stuff like that. But then when I saw him on stage, that's all he was doing was just, basking in his like glory of everyone adoring him. So, and So that's like that's a narcissist getting secondary supply, right? Because they usually only have one main supply, and that's like their wife or husband or whatever, and sometimes they turn a secondary supply into a main supply. Like if they find a secondary supply and they're whoa, and they find out that they're, this is an empath, this is someone that I could love bomb, and they'll support me and give me money, or they'll do whatever for years. Like sometimes that happens. So the burning question of why was I chosen? Well, first of all, let's go through them, like recap. First of all, you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then secondly, you had something to give. And you were zoned in by a predator looking to suck and take and take and take from you without remorse. So, it's not like, we weren't blind. We just didn't know. We were victims, when you get robbed, if you have a really nice backpack with a laptop and a smartphone and a wallet full of money and, all this stuff in it, and if someone robs you, it's not your fault. Just because you had a backpack, not everyone robs everybody who has backpacks. It's just you got attacked by a predator, and he was a narcissist, and he stole your fuel. He sucked you dry of fuel, and then he took everything out of the backpack, grabbed it all, and threw the backpack away, kind of thing, and left you and left you broken. It's kind of like that, or So it's just a question that I have, and the reason why I want to know why I was picked, and I try to figure out why all narcissists, zone in on their supply, because I want to make sure it never happens again. First off, I want to be able to try to recognize it. And if someone ever comes up to me and I get that off feeling about why are you calling me back? Like, why are you, on me so much, or over the top liking me when I haven't done anything to make you like me, kind of thing. If I ever get those feelings again by someone, I am really going to hold back, I have to make sure something is authentic before I move forward in any relationship. And that's what I've learned, when things move way too fast, or, we have way too much in common. Like there's no way that someone can be exactly like me. Unfortunately, I'm going to be a little skeptical, but the thing is, all I'm going to do is always slow down to make sure it's authentic. And that's what I learned, and that's really what I wanted to kind of share a little bit about what I went through and what I saw in my relationship, and what I've learned since that's happened. And it's helped me, and I put these talks on YouTube because it kind of helps me heal, and I also want to get like messages out there, like because every relationship with a narcissist is a little bit different, and and I take away a little bit from everything I learn, and that's why I love reading your guys' comments, because they're all just a little bit different. Every experience is a little bit different, but it all helps us build our tribe and build our community and help us heal, because we are all like survivors. We were victims, but we all survived the attack, right? So thank you guys so much for listening to me. Be sure to subscribe and join our tribe here on YouTube as we all thrive post Narcissist.